This is the 2016 LearnKendama.com Buyer's Guide. It's our first Buyer's Guide. And if there's ever a new Kendama Buyer's Guide on YouTube, there'll be a link here in the video to that. And if you're watching on our website, there'll be a link in the description below the video. We also have a iOS and Android LearnKendama.com app where you can learn all the tricks. And if you're watching on there, we'll have links below the videos in the app as well. And throughout this video, we're going to be referencing certain products. And anytime we do that, we'll put links in those same places to those specific products. Now, in this video, I am going to answer the question, what is the best kendama? Now, we know the answer to this question is really a matter of opinion. And we also feel that the answer to the question very much relies on who you are as a player. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what we think are the best kendama for you that we can make available right now. Now, if you have two kendama and you've got them side by side, you'll notice that they're very similar. It can often be difficult to tell which one is the best. And this is actually by design. You see the kendama is an ancient Japanese toy, which over the years has been refined to have very specific characteristics. And most modern kendamas conform to those characteristics. They all tend to have the same size tama, the same shape, same size hole, same size ken, same size spikes, same size cups. They're usually made out of the same type of wood. So you can see lots of things are very similar. Now, this isn't to say that all kendama are created equal. There are a lot of kendama out there on the market which are at lower prices, which are made with not as good craftsmanship, usually inferior wood. If you have one of those kendama, it's perfectly fine to get started on. You can learn those tricks, but we find that it tends to dampen the experience of learning and make it not as enjoyable, and they certainly don't last as long. Now, despite all the similarities, there are a number of characteristics that set great kendamas apart, and we're going to talk about those. One of the most common ones will be the paint that's used on the tama, where maybe it's sticky or it's a certain type of material that will make balance tricks easier, or maybe make some other types of tricks easy. There's also some companies that are the premium companies have changed the shape of the ken just slightly to make the whole experience of playing better. And there's also, of course, premium kendamas, which tend to break the mold completely. Maybe they change the size or shape of the cups a little bit, even make them out of exotic woods, which is really great. Now, before we get into what is the best kendama, I want to talk to you about two items of maintenance, which is really important because it'll help you so that you don't have any hang-ups with your kendama and you can get the most out of it. The first piece of maintenance is string. Typically, you only have to change your kendama string when it breaks. So it's a good idea, have some extra string around. That way, if it breaks, you can string it, get back to playing really quick. There's a couple other reasons you might want to change your string. One is if you're left-handed, right away you'll need to change the string in order to get the big cup and the small cup on the correct side. We have a whole video about how to string your kendama and how to set it up for left-handed play, so go check out that video if you need to. Another reason is maybe you just like the color of a certain string, or you want to mix and match the color of a tama and a ken, or put certain strings. And those are great reasons to change your string, so it's a good idea just to have some extra string around. The second piece of maintenance I want to talk to you about is about the kendama spike. What you'll notice is if you're playing with a wooden kendama, the force of the tama hitting the spike will cause the spike to dull, to wear out, and even shorten. And this is a problem because as the spike gets too short, your kendama won't really be usable. And whenever a spike is dull, which happens pretty fast, it's actually harder to hit spike tricks. So what we find is the best way to get the longest life out of your kendama is to reinforce the spike with spike armor, which is available on our website. And spike armor is really great because you can reinforce the spike on your kendama, and usually it will last 4 times as long or even more. And as the armor wears out, you can just reapply another coating. And spike armor is really just a very specific type of super glue, which we find is the best for kendamas, and we've made available in a very easy form. So you want to make sure to pick that up. Now, one of the things that's great that we've done on our site for our users is we have made all of these things you need for a kendama available in discounted packs. So you want to check that out for each kendama. You'll be able to get the kendama along with this extra string, the spike armor, and even a clip for carrying the kendama around, all in a pack that's discounted. And so those are something just really great that you want to check out. Now, for the very beginner player, we have actually 2 recommendations. But before we recommend that, there's one other toy that I want to recommend, and that's for especially for very young children or anyone who's just been interested in kendama, we find interestingly that our first recommendation isn't even a kendama, but it's a toy that's based off the kendama called the Pill. Now, as you can see, the Pill is just a simplified kendama. There's no cups. It just has a spike and a cap, which has a hole in it. And the hole is the same size as it is on a kendama, but what's really great about the Pill is that the edges actually slope inward. And this makes the area of catch a little bit larger, so that when you're trying to land that spike, it will help kind of slide the spike right into the cap, so you can land that spike a little easier. And that's really great for kids. They can get that spike, really feel like they've mastered the toy, and just helps to build self-confidence. But like I said, it's a toy that's not only great for kids, but also for anyone looking to just expand their skills. It's easy to do a lot of advanced tricks, and because the spiking is easier, you can get into those advanced tricks a lot sooner. And there's also a number of tricks that are just very Pill specific and look great on the Pill. Now, the first kendama we're going to recommend, especially for new players, is the Catchy Air. And you can see that it breaks some of those conventional standards that we talked about earlier. Most notably, it's made of plastic, but it also features a slightly larger base cup, which makes any trick that uses the base cup easier to perform. Now, we have a full product review on the Catchy Air, which you can go watch if you're really interested in it, want to learn more, but I'd like to highlight a few of the features right now. First, because it's made of plastic, the spike doesn't dull, which is really great because you don't have to worry about upkeep or using spike armor. The second feature that's great is the cups have these rubber rings, which really help with performing cup tricks. They help with balance tricks, and the other great thing about those rings is a lot of plastic kendamas have an annoying kind of plastic sound, but with the Catchy Air, that sound's really been muted because of those rings. And finally, the most important feature about the Catchy Air is the controlled weight. Because it's plastic, every single Catchy Air you get has the same weight, and the tama and the ken are equal in weight, which is something that even high-end premium kendamas can't achieve because it's difficult to control the weight of wood. And this weight control is really important when it comes to aerial tricks, like doing swirl or hand roll. You really need that weight in order to be able to land those tricks as good as you can. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum from the Catchy Air, we recommend to new players the LK Standard. This has all the conventional aspects that we talked about earlier. It is the standard kendama, and this is really great for anybody looking for that classic kendama feel. And it's the kendama we use in the majority of our videos, which shows just how versatile a classic kendama is. Now, the LK Standard also features a rubberized paint, which has a little bit of a grip to it that helps with balance tricks and cup tricks. And it also has this stripe on it, which is really great when you're trying to learn all your first spike tricks like earth turn or airplane, as it helps you know where the hole of the kendama is. Now, another kendama that goes along with this is the LK Natural, which also has all these same great features, except there's no paint on the LK Natural. It's just the natural wood, which is even more like that classic kendama feel. And the other great thing about the LK Natural is that it's at a much more affordable price. So if you're interested in kendama but you don't want to spend a lot of money, the LK Natural is an excellent option. So those are our recommendations for new players and the kendamas that we think that they should get. Now we're going to get into what we consider the mid-range kendama, and for us these kendamas have a unique feature that helps you learn and master certain tricks, or just makes the experience of playing kendama better. Some companies might call their kendama in this range premium, but we like to reserve that term for kendamas that are made out of more exotic woods and are typically a little higher end. So our first recommendation in the mid-range kendama is the Catchy Street. The Catchy Street features a slightly larger base cup, which makes learning lighthouse tricks easier, as the base cup provides a larger area. What's also great is that they've drilled out a hole in the bottom of the base cup, which makes the weight distribution on the kendama as good as possible. It also features a rubberized tama, which is good for balance tricks. It also helps with the lighthouse tricks. So if you're really interested in learning and mastering lighthouse tricks, the Catchy Street is the kendama for you. Now, the next mid-range kendama that we're very excited to recommend is the Sweets F3 kendama. And the F3 refers particularly to the model, the shape of the ken, and there's a variety of F3s that there are. This is the F3 stain, which you can see the grain of the wood through the paint on the tama. There's also a fade where the paint fades, and just a few different varieties of it. And what's great about the F3 line is that it combines some of the best qualities in the mid-range price point. What we love particularly is that you can see when the string comes out of the ken, it's slightly offset to the center of the kendama. And you might think that this is a mistake at first, but it's actually very important. What's really great about the offset string is that it's really useful for any type of pull-up trick. From your basic airplane, it helps you to keep the Ken nice and straight, to lunars and developing good consistency with those, even consistency with your one-up tricks. And so if you're really interested in mastering one-ups, lunars, any type of those tricks, this is the best mid-range kendama that we can make available to you. So those are our mid-range kendama recommendations. Now we're going to talk about our premium kendamas, which, like we said, have to do a lot with woods that are higher end, more exotic. And the Crom Viking kendama is a really great example of that. The Crom Viking is made out of maple and walnut and has a very unique look. Specifically, it's called the Crom Viking Zebra Kendama because of the stripes. It's just a very exotic wood and exotic look. And it's also slightly oversized, which just makes kendama play a lot of fun because the cups are bigger. It makes it easy to hit those tricks, land those spike tricks. The one thing we did find is that with young kids with smaller hands, the kendama can feel a little bulky. But for anyone else who's just looking for something different and a lot of fun, we couldn't be happier than to recommend this for those people, as it's really great. Now, I know what you're wondering at this point. You're wondering, is there a best kendama? Which kendama is that? And if we had to give that title to just one kendama, we would have to say it's the Sweets Homegrown Kendama. Now, what's great about the Sweets Homegrown Kendama is it is a high quality premium kendama. It's made here in the US by master craftsmen, so it's really high quality craftsmanship. It's made out of maple. This particular one also has a Purple Heart stripe, and there's other varieties as well. We feel that this kendama really takes a lot of the qualities that we've been talking about through this video and combines it into one really wonderful kendama. For instance, it's got this stripe just like the LK standard, so you can track where the hole in the tama is when you're doing tricks. The hole in the tama, they've changed the bevel a little bit so that, like the pill, spiking is easier on this kendama. It's also natural, so it gives you that classic kendama feel. And just like the F3s, it has a slightly offset string which helps with pulling up and doing all those one-up tricks. And so we feel that if you wanted to buy just one kendama and you wanted it to just be the best kendama, we couldn't be happier than to recommend the Sweets Homegrown Kendama. So those are our 2016 kendama recommendations. Throughout the year we'll add more products. Be sure to check out our store, read the descriptions to see why we feel that those products should be listed in our store. If you're getting a wooden kendama, make sure that you get some spike armor as well to extend the life of your kendama. And better yet, buy it in a pack so that you get a discount and some extra string. And those are our recommendations in the 2016 LearnKendama.com Buyer's Guide.